Hey, it's time for TV Skywriter. Patricia A. Murray here. You're watching TV Skywriter. Don't have a guest today. I thought what I would do instead is to just talk with you. Now, if you are local, this is really just for you. Although, if you don't live in the Durham, North Carolina area, stick around. This might actually pertain to you as well. So I was at the Durham County Library special event at Northgate Mall yesterday. I was actually DJing as they unveiled the new bookmobile. It was very exciting. And so I ran into a couple of people who, and this happens a lot, they might know about TV Skywriter, but they don't know about the Durham Skywriter online community paper that I publish every month. Or they might know about the Durham Skywriter. Maybe they only remember when it was in print and they don't even realize that it's still around, but that it's online as a website now. Other people know me as DJ Pity Pet, and they don't know about TV Skywriter or the Durham Skywriter. Some people are wondering what happened to my radio show. So I thought I would just talk to you about what I'm up to. And hopefully in 2016, we can think of ways that I can help you, because there are so many things that I'm into now. I'm all about promoting what's cool in Durham and the surrounding area. And I think this is where you come in if you're local. So let me grab some water if you don't mind. I have a real scratchy throat, so excuse me. So I'm going to describe all the different ways that I can think of that I can help you if you have a business, if you're an entrepreneur just starting out. I ran into a lady who's forming a new school. It's going to open in fall of next year. I'm going to help her. There's people who are, Boy Scout programs, whatever. There's so many ways I can help you. So let me just get started. So the Durham Skywriter started out as a printed newspaper. And in fact, an earlier incarnation of it was started in Chicago. I'm actually from Chicago, and had a little tiny newspaper called the Woodlawn Scoop, which grew to become the Southside Scoop. So if you've ever seen that little printed newspaper, it was never online. When I moved here, that's when I got online and got really into technology. But the Durham Skywriter looks just about the same as the Southside Scoop, with obvious changes. So it started out as a printed newspaper. It came out every month. It was frustrating because once it was printed, that was it. I could not update it or anything until the following month. And if there was a mistake or an update, it was just too bad. So it's been evolving through the years. There are a couple of years I had to take off, and just after my aunt died, there was no Durham Skywriter for about, I think, a year and a half. So now it's an interactive website where I can embed video, audio. It is really cool. You should check it out at durhamskywriter.com. So now that it's online, it's no longer printed at all. Eventually, I'd like to print some copies, because I know that I'm missing out on my seniors. A lot of seniors don't have computers, and I really regret that it's not in print anymore. But be that as it may, it's wonderful online because my readership has really, really grown. And since I have also been doing live streaming with this new app called Periscope, I've noticed real peaks in readership of the Durham Skywriter. So let me tell you how I can help you. Please excuse me. I'm getting over this cold. So like the printed version, the online version of Durham Skywriter has different pages. And it's actually, you can get to the different pages with a pull down menu. Okay, so the cover story varies. Let me first start out by saying you do not pay for a story. The only thing you pay for with the Durham Skywriter is advertising. So if I write a story about you, or if you have information that you want me to put in the paper, you don't pay for that. Okay, so the cover story, for example, this month is all about the Durham County Library. I'm going to be referring to my notes if you don't mind. So the cover story this month is called More Than Just Books. So I'm listing all the different, you would not believe how the Durham County Library has also grown. They have lots of special events. They even have you can have dance sessions in there. I've seen concerts in the Durham County Library. They have Spanish conversation, all kinds of great stuff. So I wrote about them, and also something that's very new with the Durham Skywriter. First time ever, I have an embedded video in my cover story. I did a little video on the North Carolina room, which is on the third floor of the main library. So that's like a 12-minute video, which I made with the help of Lynn Richardson. So that was really fun. Other things I've written about the Durham Police. I've written about Meals on Wheels. Believe it or not, Durham's new Muslim cemetery, that's a really big deal because they have different practices. So they have to have their own cemetery. Muslims have been traveling, like 100 or 60 miles round trip just for burial. So it's a big deal. So I write about things that you might not read anywhere else. So that's the cover story. Another thing that I like to include every now and then in my cover stories are handy hints. The Durham Skywriters, even the Southside Scoop is known for the occasional El Cheapo handy hints. I love to share ideas on how to save money because that's how I live. Okay, so I have different pages. I'll describe them as quickly as I can, and you try to figure out, while I'm telling you about each page, how this can fit in with what you're doing or plan to do next year, 2016. So the word page is the nonprofit and governmental news. So if the story requires more space, it might spin off into like a health page article or a legal page article. But if it's short and sweet, then it's probably going to be on the word page. So you'll see classes being given by the American Red Cross. You'll see news from the City of Durham's Neighborhood Improvement Services, different city and county departments and divisions, outreach and programming of various nonprofits locally, and also free seminars that are offered by the Durham Tech Small Business Center. All that is on the word page. Okay, I'm going to keep this short, so I don't want you to think I'm going to be here for hours. Okay, so the On the Job feature, that's a page where I interview one person a month. We talk about their job. I ask how they became, how they got this job, how they prepared for it. How can a young person prepare for getting a job like that? And also ask what their duties are and what they like best about their job. Okay, the neighbor goodies page, those are just short announcements. Sometimes they're just like short stories. I remember writing a short story on how a young man saved someone's life who was about to get hit by a car. He saved their life by shoving them out of the way. I love that kind of story. So you'll see short announcements maybe on awards, graduations. If I find out about grant opportunities, you might see that on the word page or the neighbor goodies page, depending. Also, the City of Durham has a weekly show that they do on YouTube, and also it's on their channel, and it's embedded in the Durham Skywriter. I got permission to do that. Also, you see my social media links, and I give you tidbits on what's happening. Like, for example, the Periscope app, which is a live streaming app. I can actually take my smartphone, go to an event, and do some live streaming right there. And you can see it either on your phone if you have Periscope, or on your computer if you go to the Periscope page, periscope.tv/Durham Skywriter. Okay, I also have Book of the Month. So if you're an author, send me a copy of your book. It can be Book of the Month. I have CD of the Month. That's for musicians who have CDs. And we're kind of in a sticky area now. Some musicians have gone beyond CDs and only have their music available online as downloads. So I'll have to figure out how to deal with that. But for now, CD of the Month is for the musicians. These are both free. All you have to do is just send me a copy of your book or your CD. Give me the promotional information as well to help me with my review. And that's something else that I can do for you. Zoom, that's the page for kids. And you will see step-by-step craft projects, science fair ideas, fun stuff like optical illusions, jokes, just fun stuff for kids. The school tools page, that's obviously about education. And the stories can range from pre-K all the way up to college. I will list things like, information on mentoring programs, online help that you can get, grade appropriate online help, local mentoring programs, study tips, special projects, like for example, Jordan High School. They're having a crowdfunding campaign for their solar farm. They got a grant and they need extra money to help run this solar farm that they're going to build really soon. And by the way, that ends at the end of this month. And the link, if you want to help Jordan High School, is right there on the school tools page. Okay, the To Your Health page is obviously about health. All kinds of health stories, useful health tips and information. There's news on a regular basis from the Durham Diabetes Coalition and the Bryant Alzheimer's Center. White Rock, for example, they have a Go Green program, which is a nutrition program. I write about that, and I also have a little video that explains it that I also made. There's a blue button that you can click on called Health Events. All of these support groups are listed. Also, the health-related classes and workshops are also listed there. That's a separate thing. You just click on the blue button, and that takes you to another page. The Senior Scope page, that's for people ages 55 and up. News and information from the Durham Center for Senior Life. They have a lot of cool activities. They have movies. They take trips. I think it's next week. I'm not sure. They're going to take a trip to Fruitcake Factory. That should be a lot of fun. Parks and Recreation, they have a mature adults department. Mature adults, that's for people, like I said, age 50 and up. I'm sorry, 55 and up. And also the 11 Jewish Community Center activities. They have, a wide range of activities, but I usually list the ones just for the seniors on the senior page, obviously. Okay, the Garden Shed page, seasonal news for people who like to work out in their garden. I also list workshops that are held at the Duke Gardens, Sarah P. Duke Gardens. So try to figure out ways that you can have me to interview you, or you can send me information on these subjects, because with most newspapers, basically they fit the news wherever it fits. They might have special sections like arts and lifestyle and whatnot. But with the Durham Skywriter, each topic, like news for seniors, news for kids, health news, school news, all of that, they're on separate pages. And if you want to advertise, you can target your ad on specific pages. Okay. Now there's the praise page. That's news from the different faith communities. And I do try to cover all faiths, at least the ones that I hear about here locally in Durham. I list the meetings and activities of Durham Congregations in Action, Religious Coalition for a Nonviolent Durham, and various congregations that are putting on special events, health initiatives, et cetera, like the one at White Rock that I told you about. And AKA and St. Joseph, they just had a forum on Alzheimer's. That was listed in the Durham Skywriter on the praise page as well, and on the health page. Okay, there's sports. It's called Sport and Life, and sports and games for kids and adults. Of course, you'll expect to see a lot of information from Durham Parks and Recreation. And also there's a big green button on the sports page called The Great Outdoors. And there's free activities that I list for 4 local state parks. That's the Eno River, Falls Lake, Jordan Lake, and Umstead. And I also list sky watching sessions that are hosted by Moorhead Planetarium and Duke University. And then there's 2 more pages I want to tell you about. The how-to page, how to do just about anything. This month, it's about how to band your trees with burlap and how to make and apply glue to keep those cankerworms from climbing up. And when I'm talking about cankerworms, you remember last spring when those nasty little inchworms were getting in your hair and whatnot? That was nasty. So I actually teach you how to help mitigate that by banding your trees, keeping the worms from climbing up, and then hopefully you won't have any of those worms dangling from your trees on your property. And tell your neighbors all about that too. I'm going to let that particular article run in the December issue of the Durham Skywriter as well, because basically you can do this. Let's see, I think they want you to band and glue your trees by the first frost. I know it's been cold at night, but I think we have a little time to still do that. Okay, now, last but not least, the Let's Go page. That is the calendar of events, and I list all kinds of events. We're talking jazz concerts, I don't know, whatever. I can't even, fundraisers, events by city and county groups, community organizations, churches, It's updated every day. So if you have an event that's happening soon, let me know. It's never too late. Like I said, now that the Durham Skywriter is an interactive website, I can add to it every single day, all day. It's never too late to send your information. Okay, so that's the Durham Skywriter. Like I said, you can read that at durhamskywriter.com. All right, now maybe I can help you with video. I make on location videos. I like to go to, for example, the city of Durham County, and interview people about different programs. Very often they send out press releases, and that's fine, to read in the paper. That's great, actually. But there's nothing like having someone to tell you face to face and to have it broadcast on social media and on YouTube. So that's something that I can do for you. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, I also like to give special attention to my advertisers. I do appreciate their business. Without them, there would be no Durham Skywriter. So just for fun, I like to make little videos for them, and I like to also live stream when they have something special going on, or even if they don't, I'll drop in and live stream from their business. I also do freelance photography. For a couple of years, I was the official photographer for the historic Durham Athletic Park, and I really enjoyed that. Now, you are watching TV Skywriter. You can be a guest on TV Skywriter. That's what you're watching right now. There's 2 versions. Let me grab some water. My throat is scratchy. Okay, so you are watching right now the Sunday edition, my regular edition, which airs at 7 p.m. on Sundays. There's no time limit, so I can interview you. We can talk for 10 minutes. We can talk for an hour. I actually talked to a gentleman. He was the first Black Secret Service agent for Secret Service for John F. Kennedy, President Kennedy, JFK. And we talked for like almost 2 hours. He had so much to say. It was brilliant. Anyway, let me get back on track here. So there's 2 versions, like I said, Sundays, 7 p.m., no time limit. Another thing about the regular edition of TV Skywriter is that that's the only thing that I do that's not really locally based. So I've interviewed people in England and New York and Chicago and Florida and wherever. So if you're watching this and you're like, well, I don't live in Durham, I can't do any of this, you can be on TV Skywriter. So I like to interview people I've had Butcher Brown Jazz Group perform live on TV Skywriter. That was awesome. I like to interview authors and whoever's interesting. You have something interesting to talk about, get in contact with me. Okay. There is a weekday, what I call the local edition TV Skywriter. That's usually between 9 and 5, weekday, Monday through Friday. Usually I try to limit that to 20 minutes because I know people are at work and they probably shouldn't be watching TV while they're working. So that I made available because there are some people for whom Sunday just doesn't work. Like suppose you are a nonprofit representative or you work with this city or whatever, and Sunday just doesn't work for you. Some people are busy Sunday nights because they're involved in their church. So that's okay. You can do the 20-minute weekday version, the local edition of TV Skywriter. So what's cool about both versions is that they're both available on YouTube. I upload them to YouTube with scrolling credits, just like a real TV show. I got to stop doing that. Okay. It also airs on the People's Channel. You might not know this, but I have a nice deal with the People's Channel. They actually show TV Skywriter on not only the People's Channel in Chapel Hill, but also Durham. It used to be called Durham Community Media, Channel 18, but now it's called the People's Channel, Durham. So that's a really cool way to get the word out about what you do. So none of this would be possible without advertising. I'm just going to get to the point here. It's impossible for me to run around, get all this information, take pictures, do video, and then not have any money coming in. Duke Energy is going to send me a bill every month, and they don't care if I have ads or not. They want their money. So obviously, I want advertisers. My rates are very low, especially for what you get. I keep it low because most of the businesses I go after, so to speak, for advertising are very often locally owned stores. That does not mean that I don't want the chains to advertise with me, but I don't think it would be a good idea for me to call myself a community, or calling the Durham Skywriter a community paper, and then go after all the chain stores. Again, I would not turn away that business, but my focus is on local businesses. And so I keep my prices low in accordance to that motto. Okay, so let's see, what else do I have here? All you have to do is to get in contact with me at, via Twitter at Durham Skywriter. You can write to me, durhamskywriter@yahoo.com. And you can also get in contact with me through Facebook, Patricia A. Murray. Okay, now there's different packages. You can just have a regular display ad. That's what most of my advertisers have. And in fact, most of my advertisers have been with me for years. So that must say something. And let me get my last page here. Here's what I'd like for you to do, for me and for you. So I want you to read the Durham Skywriter. It's the best resource for local news. It's constantly updated. It's not just a plain monthly that just sits and waits for the next month to be updated. It's updated every day. Most of the news is positive. I will tackle tough issues, but there's always a positive spin. I just don't point out the problems of our community. I like to have a solution in mind when I write my articles, because I don't believe in doom and gloom. I believe in results, getting the work done, and being positive. That's just my outlook. Okay, I'd like for you to follow me on social media. I like to promote local folks on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that. I also do like to describe live streaming. Okay, like for example, I gave a tour of the Durham County Library bookmobile yesterday on a Periscope, and that was really fun. Now for 2016, think of ways that I can help you to promote what you do. No one else in Durham does multimedia like I do. I love all the different media outlets. I grew up as a huge fan of media. I never knew I'd be able to get into it. So it's not like me against anyone else. It's just that it's just a cool way for me. I'm trying to describe a cool way for you to get the word out. Okay. Like I said, I'm not against anyone. I'm for everyone. And I actually like to share information with different media outlets, because I don't consider us competitors. I just have a different way of doing what I do. Okay. Oh, yeah. Add me to your media list. What very often happens is that someone will run into me and they'll say, wow, nobody showed up at my event, or I didn't get the turnout that I needed, or I wish I could be, interviewed by someone. Well, I'd be happy to interview you. Everything that I do is cross-promoted. So the Durham Skywriter, obviously I'm promoting it now on TV Skywriter. I promote TV Skywriter in the Durham Skywriter. I promote you in both. And there's so many different ways that we can get the word out about what it is that you're doing. So what I'd like for you to do is to follow me, like I said, at Durham Skywriter on Twitter and Periscope if you have that app. Patricia A. Murray on Facebook. You can write to me at durhamskywriter@yahoo.com. And you can read the Durham Skywriter. Excuse me. I need some water. Excuse me. You can read the Durham Skywriter at durhamskywriter.com. And I think that's about it. Another thing I wanted to point out, that if you advertise, it's in there all month, not just one day, not 1 week, but 1 month, sometimes 1.5 months, depending. Sometimes someone doesn't get me an ad until the middle of the month because their event is happening then, or like the next month. Let me tell you one thing real quick. The Durham Skywriter, again, it's a monthly. So for example, the December issue will cover the month of December, but it will also cover the first week of January. That gives me a week to roll in the new information. Unlike, for example, the Herald Sun, where the new edition is boom, it's right there in whole, all at once. Because what I do is a website, I have to roll in. I can't just say, here's the Durham issue right there. I have to roll in the information, replace the old information with the new. So during the first week, you will see things changing slowly from, for example, November to December. All right. That's how I operate. So your ad will run at a minimum of 1 month. and possibly 2 months, just depending on the timing, for the same price. So with that, get back to your Sunday evening. I hope I didn't take up too much of your time. You have a great day, great evening. I will see you tomorrow. I do Bull City Notes. That's another way that I promote people. I do Bull City Notes on Periscope. Again, Periscope is that new live streaming app. So around, well, let's just say between 9 and 10:30, depending um, on whether I have meetings or not. I do Bull City Notes where I tell you what's happening in Durham every day. I do this every day. It takes about 5 minutes, but that's a really great way to promote local events. It's another thing. And of course, I link everything to the Durham Skywriter. Everything is cross promoted. So think of different ways next year that I can help you promote what you do, because I'm very, very excited about this. I've been trying to get to this point for years. And in fact, Amy Blaylock with the City of Durham told me, when I told her my numbers, she says, I am now finally comparable and at the same level as the Big Daily. Just saying. So with that, I say good evening, and I'll see you this time tomorrow. No, not this time tomorrow. I'm used to saying that for Bull City Notes. I will see you next week doing TV Skywriter, and I will see you tomorrow when I do Bull City Notes. Ciao for now.